Hey, Mark Brouker here, Brouker Leadership Solutions in San Diego, California. Hey, today we're going to wrap up a little series we've been doing for the last couple of months about the number one stressor for leaders. And what is that? Is having a difficult conversation with an employee. So, first thing we talked about, I guess back in July, was to make sure you have plenty of time for this conversation. Don't constrain yourself with 30 minutes or whatever. Make sure you have flexibility in the back end. You don't have an important meeting at the end of this meeting when you're going to have a difficult conversation. You may be a bit at a breakthrough and you don't want to be constrained by time. This is extremely important conversation. And the second thing we talked about was how to structure this conversation, and a beautiful way to do it. Thank goodness is Stephen Covey, his fifth habit. What he says is when you sit down with someone who's not performing where you want to be, maybe coming in late, help me understand why you are coming in late, or fill in the blank, and listen and let the silence percolate. Don't interrupt it. Silence is okay. And this is all under the umbrella of this is so important. Think about this for a second. It's true that the team performance is not dictated by what you say or what's written on a wall or what you write in an email. It's dictated by what you tolerate. And if someone's working for you and they're not performing where they need to, or they're coming in late, whatever the issue is, you got to address it, because if you don't, you just lower the standards. So really, really important. In my book, Lessons from the Navy, I have a chapter on this. It's under the chapter is Don't Ignore Good or Poor Performance. And obviously we're talking about poor performance here, both equally important. So today what I want to talk about is, okay, we do all that stuff, but sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes, in spite of everything, all your great efforts, the person's behavior does not change. And at the end of the day, it's up to them. It's incumbent on them to change their behavior. You can do everything you can, but if they don't change their behavior, something's got to give. Now, you can, hopefully their skill set, you can fit into a job maybe that their skill set can thrive, but you may have to take some more severe measures. Basically, you may have to let them go, and that's okay. So the quick example I'll give is I took over a unit organization one time, and we had an IT person who ran the IT department, who was really, really good at computers. Man, this guy was all over it. The problem is he was rude to people, and colleagues at this operation would be afraid to go to him with their issues, because he was just he was arrogant, and he was kind of rude. And so I took over this department, and I find this out to bring him in. The first thing I said was, again, we had a lot of time, and with this conversation actually went beyond 30 minutes. I can't remember how long it went, but it went pretty long. And I said to him, I started the conversation by saying, help me understand why we have these complaints from your colleagues for your rude behavior. And I had all the data in front of me, irrefutable data. And over the course of the conversation, it came out that he had some issues. And at the end of that conversation, I basically directed him, you need to go get some help, some counseling, whatever it takes, but you need to get some third-party intervention here to help you get through this stuff, because I cannot tolerate this rude behavior. Well, he never took my advice. He never took the interventions or whatever, the counseling. His rude behavior continued. We had a couple more conversations, but at the end of that period, it was probably 5 weeks or so, I went to my boss, told him what was going on, and he looked at me and he said something really interesting. He said, Mark, everyone has a seat on the bus, but sometimes we're on the wrong bus. And our job is to get them on the right bus. And what he meant was, of course, that maybe this isn't a good fit for his skill set. And it really wasn't a good fit for his skill set. So what happened is, before we processed his letting go, he quit, and he went to another job. And the other job was really purely IT, working at night, no interaction with other people, and the guy did great. He thrived, and he was on the right bus, if you use my boss's analogy. So at the end of the day, you have the capability to let people go. Sometimes people are just not in a good skill set, and it doesn't match their skill set, and letting them go it's actually okay. So real quick, to recap, the number one stressor for leaders is having a difficult conversation. Take as much time as you need. Use the seek first to understand. Help me understand why. Fill in the blank. At the end of the day, if all that doesn't work, you can certainly, again, try to find a job that fits their skill set in the same organization. But if not, you can let them go. That's okay. Well, listen, we're out here. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.